The markets are closed, but the business stories are just heating up. Hello, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Catch up with us on Business Week. We begin with the latest in the Middle East conflict. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that a ceasefire between Israel and Iran is now in effect. In a social media post, Trump made an appeal to concerned parties not to violate it. A senior White House official said Trump had brokered a ceasefire deal in a call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, adding that Israel had agreed as long as Iran did not launch further attacks. But Iran's foreign minister denied any ceasefire agreement and posting, if Israel stopped its illegal aggression against the Iranian people, Iran had no intention of continuing its retaliation. Israel's emergency services said 3 people were killed after an Iranian missile hit a residential building in the southern city of Beersheba. 8 others were injured. This despite instructions to residents to enter bomb shelters. Iran's strike came hours after President Trump first posted on social that a ceasefire has been reached. Asian shares rally on Tuesday after President Trump announced the ceasefire. The announcement of a complete and total ceasefire came after Iran's missile strike on a U.S. military base in Qatar. However, the situation remains unclear and Israel has not confirmed any ceasefire.
Yeah, I think the reaction is going to be positive. Yeah, but the market's previous reaction to the strike was quite moderate and just a small dip in the equity and a small go up of the oil price, and then it's already reversed back. Things reversed back yesterday. So I think market expectation about the ceasefire is going to be positive, but it's going to be cautious as well. I would expect that everything hinges upon how oil price will go.
But Iran's foreign minister denied any ceasefire agreement and posting, if Israel stopped its illegal aggression against the Iranian people, Iran had no intention of continuing its retaliation. Donald Trump wants oil prices kept down amid fears that the U.S. attack on Iran's nuclear facilities could cause a spike. In his post on Truth Social, the U.S. president warned oil players that he's watching and urged them not to play into the hands of the enemy. In another post, he ordered the Energy Department to, quote, "drill, baby, drill." U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright responded in a post on X that they are on it. The U.S. could tap the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the world's largest emergency crude oil stash, in case of severe interruptions. But the Trump administration has criticized former President Joe Biden's use of the SPR after Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. The Philippine government has received more than 200 requests for repatriation amid the war in the Middle East. In a video statement, President Bongbong Marcos says they are moving quickly to bring these Filipinos home. He also ensures aid for both repatriates and those who choose to stay in Israel and Iran.
Upon arrival in the Philippines, they will receive immediate support from the government, including 150,000 pesos in immediate assistance. Some accommodation, transport, and livelihood support with training vouchers to help them recover and to start again. And for those who choose to stay home for good, we will be there to help with skills training, job matching, startup capital, and support to begin a small business or find new opportunities. I urge our fellow Filipinos to coordinate with our embassies in Tel Aviv and in Tehran. Please follow their guidance, inform them of your situation, and do not hesitate to ask for assistance.
Philippine Airlines ground 6 flights today and tomorrow, citing risks posed by the rising conflict in the Middle East. Those canceled include round-trip flights to Doha, Dubai, and Riyadh. Passengers can rebook within 60 days, refund with no penalties, or convert fares into one-year travel credits. Customers are advised to check real-time flight updates online. Trucking fees could climb soon as fuel prices soar in reaction to the Middle East conflict. The Confederation of Truckers Association of the Philippines will meet on Wednesday to set the new rates. They warn that without the rate hike, delays in deliveries could hit production and supply chains. The Transportation Department previously said truckers will be included in fuel subsidies. We're taking a short break. More business stories are up next. You're watching Business Brief. Global wealth is on the move, and experts urge the Philippines to take advantage of the trend. Sujin Kim joins us for more. Sujin, how is the country's wealth landscape evolving?
The Philippines, home to 12,800 millionaires, 70 centimillionaires, and 12 billionaires, continues to create wealth at a rapid pace, even as the escalating Israel-Iran conflict rattles global markets. According to Henley and Partners, the country's millionaire population grew 32% in the past decade, outperforming many W10 economies.
This year marks the largest voluntary transfer of private capital in modern history. Wealth migration signals a global shift in economic power, so it's not just a demographic trend. Countries are racing to attract both talent and capital, and reshaping financial hubs and prosperity zones.
Yet amid the geopolitical tensions, the world's wealth is being reshaped. In 2025, the top 10 countries gaining millionaires are as follows, led by the United Arab Emirates, the United States, and Italy. But while wealth flows to these safe havens, others face massive exodus. The top 10 countries losing millionaires this year are the following. The UK alone is set to lose 16,500 millionaires, the largest single-year outflow ever recorded, with $92 billion in assets leaving. The Israel-Iran conflict, coupled with rising oil prices, is pushing Filipino high-net-worth individuals to seek alternative residency or citizenship options as a form of insurance against market volatility.
Any instability in global politics or global markets, including influxes in commodity prices, create insecurity that would push families to consider optionality. When it comes to these conflicts globally, or when it comes to economic shocks, it's important that families have other options.
As wealth relocates at unprecedented speed, experts warn the Philippines must act fast, with more competitive tax incentives and a simpler golden visa to attract a piece of this shifting global capital. And those are latest updates from Makati City. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you for that report, Sujin Kim. Trade Secretary Cristina Roque unveils a new electric vehicle strategy targeting the local production of 9 million EVs and the setting up of 400,000 charging stations by 2040. The Electric Vehicle Incentive Strategy, or EVIS, aims to bring in 120 billion pesos in capital and slash $30 billion in import costs. It also aims to create 680,000 jobs and add 400 billion pesos in tax revenues. The strategy promotes local production of electric vehicles, EV batteries and charging stations, among others. The Electric Vehicle Assemblers of the Philippines, or EVAP, supports the strategy but says it needs strong, coordinated government support to work. Manila Water Services postpones the listing date of its IPO on the Philippine Stock Exchange to October from the initial schedule of July 17. Manila explains this is to accommodate potential cornerstone investors. The company also says it has updated its proposed IPO timetable in response to robust potential demand from strategic investors. Manila's IPO is expected to net up to 37.41 billion pesos. The European Union will not give up its right to make policy decisions. That's according to the European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen, as they negotiate tariffs with the U.S. She insists the group's sovereign decision-making is untouchable.
So we're very clear about that. Of course, we discuss tariff lines. We discuss non-tariff barriers like standards and norms, for example. We discuss strategic purchases. We discuss all these topics. But where it is the sovereign decision-making process in the European Union and its member states that is affected, this is too far.
Her comments come amid speculation that Washington may be pressing Brussels into delaying the implementation of laws such as those on deforestation and online platforms, or providing exemptions to U.S. companies. New York pushes for the state's first nuclear project since 2009. The governor announced the project to keep New York a, quote, economic powerhouse. The move aims to revive energy supply after the 2021 shutdown of a nuclear plant in Westchester County and create high-paying long-term jobs. The move comes amid a revival in nuclear energy investments as technology companies want nuclear energy to power massive artificial intelligence data centers. The governor assigned the New York Power Authority to build a modern zero-emission gigawatt-scale plant upstate while calling on the federal government for streamlined federal permits. At present, the government approval for building nuclear plants take at least 10 years. We'll be back after a short break. You're watching Business Brief. Who's your daddy? That's the question on everyone's mind as Pavel Durov, founder of the instant messaging app Telegram, plans to leave an estimated $13.9 billion to over 100 children he has fathered. Durov says all these children are his and have equal rights. The self-exiled Russian tech tycoon wants to prevent any family disputes after his death. However, his children will only have access to their inheritance after 3 decades. He is officially the father of 6 children with 3 different partners. He started donating sperm 15 years ago to help a friend, which resulted in fathering more than 100 children across 12 countries. Last year, he got arrested over allegations that Telegram failed to properly moderate content to curb criminal activity. Philippine shares returned to positive territory, a turnaround from the previous close of a nearly 2% loss. The PSE index ended higher by more than 1% to close at 62.92, finishing the day as the 9th best performer in Asia. Among the sectoral indices, only mining and oil ended in the red, with financials rising the most at nearly 3%. Advancers outpaced decliners 122 to 73. Total value turnover reached 5.8 billion pesos. Majority of the day's most active stocks ended in the green, with Universal Robina rising the most at more than 7%. Meanwhile, at the foreign exchange market, the peso is currently trading at 57.01 against the greenback, strengthening from the previous close of 57.58. That's a wrap for today's Business Brief. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Join us again next week as we bring you the stories that help you plan your next big, bold moves in business. Only here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. See you then.